Okay, I've got my Mac connected up to my TV, and with the video camera I'm hoping to capture some off-cam footage so you can get an idea of what it's like when you're actually sitting on your sofa in your chair, what it looks like to the naked eye. And I'm also going to be capturing some direct video footage so that gives you a better idea of the quality of what it actually looks like. Alright, let's have a look. The first thing you can see is the loading screen or the intro screen. It looks alright, not quite sharp, and it doesn't quite fill the screen. So we can see here with the video it's a bit jerky. And the colours are definitely a bit washed out. Right bumper. Wow, this is the grapple shot then. Ooh. Let's have a look, this is my reaction time. So it feels quite good. Definitely got more of a chance than with the multiplayer.
He's hiding because he don't want to die. Time for a scrap. I got your number.
Now they've got American accents. Okay. Before they were aliens, now the aliens have got very regional American accents. It don't quite fit. It's funny, but it don't fit. So this is it. After a lot longer than what I was expecting, I'm going out into the open world of Halo. So I've been playing Halo Infinite using xCloud, and I've probably spent about 4 to 5 hours on it, mainly on the campaign and a little bit of multiplayer as well. So I'm just going to give you my feedback on that. Now the first thing that I found was that the experience of actually loading up and getting the game started is very easy. It doesn't take too long either. I'm using a 100 megabit connection. It's very quick, very prompt, and you know, after the loading screen with the spaceship, you're pretty much straight into the menu screen of the game. Whilst it is apparently a 1080p image, it doesn't quite feel the TV screen. And so you do have this big black border and it just seems unnecessary. And this is both on my TV and it appeared to be the case on the Mac as well. Now when it comes to the graphics, overall, I would say I was quite impressed actually. They do look very good. It doesn't look very blocky because you would expect it's a cloud game, it's a streaming game, fast action. And you know, overall it looks good. Now it's not to say it's perfect. The colours, they are a bit crushed, and the image does look a bit soft. So comparing it to video footage of the game being played on an Xbox Series X, obviously it doesn't have that sharpness you would see there, but they look really good. And there are actually two graphics modes. There is performance, which is to prioritize fast responses to your actions, and then there is a fidelity mode. Now I did try the fidelity mode and I couldn't really see much of a graphical improvement, but I did notice more lag. So if you are playing, definitely go for the performance mode. Are the graphics good enough? And I would say absolutely they are. If you are wanting the absolute best image, then of course you're going to go for buying a console, an Xbox console, because that's going to give you a native image, sharp and crisp. And this doesn't offer that. But what it does do is it means you can get a very good representation of that image, and you're not having to shell out for the Xbox. When it comes to the controller, I've got a DualSense, a PlayStation 5 DualSense set up with the MacBook. On the menu screen, what the game told me is that there might be some compatibility issues with the controller. As it happened, the controller works fine. What you don't get is you don't get the rumble or vibration capability of the controller, which means, you know, if you're used to rumble, which we've been playing with for 25 years odd, to not have it, it feels like something's missing. It's not a game, it doesn't ruin everything, but it would be nice to have that in there. And I'm sure Microsoft is looking to include it in the future, because when you exit a game, there is an exit questionnaire that asks you what you found positive or negative about the game. So you may say that, if you use an Xbox controller, an official Xbox controller, you're going to get a rumble capability. Now, although I don't have an official Series X controller at the moment, what I have read on the various forums is that if you are playing with xCloud on a Mac, you still don't get it, whatever controller you're using. I did look online to see if Microsoft had any official documentation about this, and to be honest, it's not explicit enough. It would be really helpful if Microsoft included information to say exactly what's included, what controllers are supported, and to what degree, and what functions they have supported as well. Likewise with voice chat. Now, I did wonder if voice chat would be included and how it would work. There is a menu option where you can turn the microphone on, and so I did do that. During the gameplay of a multiplayer game, I didn't hear any other players talking. Of course, they might have had their mic switched off, but I never heard them at all, and I wasn't able to communicate with them either. The big issue of playing a game over the cloud is that the nature of the way the technology is, which is you don't have a console next to you, but you are playing a console that is remote, very far away, there is going to be a degree of lag. And that's going to affect the way that when you press a button, it's going to be a bit slow to respond. And so, does this actually affect gameplay? And the thing to note is that there are two games within Halo. There's the multiplayer and the campaign. And so if we look at the multiplayer, I'm not going to pretend I'm the best of FPS players, but it is clear to see that with a 100 megabit connection that I've got, it is just not good enough really to play a multiplayer game. If you can imagine that there are people who play the game regularly, daily, they're experts, and you've got almost no chance in a face-to-face shootout with somebody, because by the time you're aiming your gun at them, they've probably shot and killed you, and the response is still to come to your screen. So multiplayer, you've got no chance of going up the ranks, I don't think, not at this stage. There are some modes where the multiplayer allows you to explore the levels or have some training with bots. I haven't yet played those, but I think that would give you some good training if you are going to be playing it later locally with friends, or if you're looking to buy the console yourself, the Xbox console. So multiplayer gives you a taste of the multiplayer experience, but it's not really possible to play using xCloud. For the campaign, I did play in performance mode, and on the whole, I noticed it to be, it responded very quickly to my actions. Faster, more responsive experience, and it just made the game a lot better. But overall, it was really good. And comparing it to when I first played Destiny 2 on Google Stadia, which was during the launch window, it might have since improved. But during that period, the lag was noticeable. And with this, playing Halo Infinite now on xCloud via a MacBook, I think the experience for most people is going to be near native. It's that good. A long time ago, people in the industry would talk about a killer app for a games console. For example, Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64, or the original Halo for the original Xbox. And what this meant was that there would be one game that was so good that it would convince people to go out and buy the console just to play it. Now, in this day and age, there are so many more games and people have access to so many more games. And so it seems a bit of a big ask to pay out for a whole console, especially the Xbox Series X when it costs £450 in the UK, $500 I think in the US. That's a lot of money just to play one game. What xCloud has done is it's given me an option to play this game, to get my hands on it without having to go to all that big expense. And I've just paid, by using a voucher, £8, and that's given me 2 months worth of access to Xbox Game Pass. Now this is an incredible deal. I don't know if Microsoft's going to be getting anything out of it, but it may be the case that it's going to tempt people, non-mainstream gamers, to try the Xbox ecosystem, get involved with it, and really playing it on the Mac. It's been a fantastic experience overall, and I'm sure it's going to improve as well. I'm now just looking forward to see what I'm going to try next.